All right, guys, I know you know what today is. And what does it say right here? Right here. Show me the money Mondays. And my gosh, if you are in the state of Florida, happen to be in the local area of Fort Myers, I have brought an expert in the lending industry because you know what June is all about and what we've been talking about. And that is show me the money Mondays. But more importantly, this is home ownership month. And home ownership is all about how to inspire people with the things that they have as far as home ownership. And if you don't have a home, we are here to be able to help you. And show me the money Mondays. Speaking to our lenders, they are really taking that to another level and sharing with you ways that you can be able to save money and different programs. So a special treat for the Fort Myers area, we have one of our lender partners here that is going to be highlighting special programs in regards to what's going on in Fort Myers, Florida, to be exact. And a lot of times we don't have programs that are hyper local focus where only that particular area is getting bonuses. So I want to be quiet. For those who don't know, my name is Q Raphael, and I am the president of the Southwest Florida Association of Realtors. And this is what I do. It's all about democracy in housing, helping people to bridge that gap to wealth, generational wealth, education. And do you have to be a realtor or realtist to be part of our realtist group? And that question is no. We love all people and we want everyone to be inspired, to be elevated. And if you are an entrepreneur or entrepreneurs, if you are a realtor or real estate agent, someone that's in the industry, we want to have you to come and join us. But without further ado, I am going to yield the mic and let our special guest for this week introduce himself and find out more about him. So I'm going to yield the mic, and Mr. Robert Farmer is going to take it over.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Robert Farmer. I'm a branch manager at Acre Mortgage and Financial Incorporated. Been in the mortgage business for roughly 27 years. And Ms. Raphael asked me to come on and share some of the programs that I have that could probably help a few folks out when it comes to purchasing their first home.
Absolutely.
Did you have any additional questions from me?
You know, I have tons of questions, tons
Oh,
of questions.
good. I should have tons of answers.
All right. So within your 27 years, for those who are being inspired actually to become a lender, just tell us a little bit about why you got into the lending industry. How did that come about?
Just happened to look for an ad, responded to an ad in the paper. I had a business at the time, kind of got tired of doing that. And when they explained to me the advantages and the rewards from doing mortgage lending, I kind of fell off into it back in 1997. And I've been doing it ever since then.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So within that 27 years, you can be able to that's something that you can be able to share with everyone as far as all the things that you have seen.
Yeah, that's interesting you say that
Mhm.
because the rates right now, people think the rates are high. When I got into the business, the rates were right around where they are now, 7, 8%. They've slowly trickled down over the years, but that was the norm and that was the standard. You would pay between 7.5 to 8.5%, and things were moving right along. Now the difference was the homes weren't as expensive as they are now 27 years ago. So that's also one of the challenges that people are running into currently. And the community is trying to come up with some programs to help people along. I'm sure down in Fort Myers, Lee County, I'm sure they have a certain number of grant programs that the first-time borrowers can take advantage of.
Yes, there is different programs, like you said, from rental assistance to down payment assistance. And then we have our lender partners that have their own special programs. And so like today, you're going to be able to highlight something super special that is not really talked about.
Yeah, well, we'll start off with the one program. It's called the One Plus. And we partnered up with Rocket Mortgage in offering this product. It's a 1% down program where the lender will give them 2% lender credit towards closing costs. And they can still receive a 3% seller concession, which means the seller is willing to contribute 3% of the sale price towards the closing costs. They only need a minimum credit score of 620. They have program, they do not have to be a first-time home buyer. They do have to do the home buying counseling though, and it has reduced PMI. And again, it's just another way to free up a couple dollars for that cash-strapped homeowner. And as long as they meet 80% of the area median income, they can qualify. Now, the other program that I'm marketing right now is called the Purchase Plus program. We've also partnered up with Rocket Mortgage in regards to that. And because Fort Myers is considered an underserved area, they have to be a first-time home buyer. They can borrow up to $766,000, still get a 3% seller's assist. They have to put down 3% though, but they get a $5,250 credit from the lender at closing. Now that does not have to be paid back. It does not mean that they have to stay in the property for a certain number of years either. It's just direct money at closing from the lender.
Okay, so undeserved, you said a lot of different stuff. So I'm gonna back up.
Okay.
Please define what is a first-time home buyer.
A first-time home buyer's definition is a person that has not owned a home in the past 3 years.
Okay. And
So if they had a house, sold it, rented for 3 years, they would still qualify as a first-time home buyer.
Now, what if their name is on a deed that maybe they were helping out one of the family members, and now the home is also, they don't live there, but the home is deeded in their name.
Would the mortgage be in their name as well?
The home is actually paid off.
That's a question I'd have to ask. That's a good question. I can't give you a direct answer right now.
Okay, all right. So we'll circle back around to that.
That'll be another show.
That would be it, right. Can you get a loan if your name is on one of your family members' home that you do not live in and you're renting? I only bring that up because I was at the Juneteenth celebration that we had in Fort Myers last weekend. And we are doing a Pathways to Home Ownership. And the young lady said to me, I'm glad you guys are doing this. You're educating the community. And I wish I was educated before I put my name on my grandmother's home that we thought that she was passing away so suddenly and so on and so forth. And she did it to try to save the home as well. So, but the house is now paid off and she went to go try to get a loan for a first-time home buyer. And he said, well, honey, you're not a first-time home buyer because you actually have your name on a home that's deeded. So I thought maybe you had, some other understanding.
That's probably going to be a rule across the board, though. More than likely.
Maybe so, but this is a fresh conversation, so I figured I would just bring it up. And if I kind of took you to, a loop really quick, but that was very interesting to me, and I never had that.
I mean, it's interesting to me as well. That's something that's good to know because I have a client right now that just inherited a house.
Yeah. So when we talk about what qualifies a first-time home buyer, different programs, now correct me if I'm wrong, because I am not a lender, okay?
Right.
So different programs, when they define first-time home buyer, you have some programs where it's only 2 years. Is that correct?
The ones that I know of is 3.
So all the ones that you know is 3. Okay. You are currently in what area?
I'm in the Tampa Bay area right now.
Okay. I just want people to know exactly where you're at. So I'm in Fort Myers, you're in Tampa, but you service all
I
of,
service the whole state of Florida,
and also what other states?
New Jersey, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Delaware.
Okay. So that's good to know for those
and Georgia by the end of next month.
Okay, so that's good. So for those who are watching this, if you're not in Florida, you have another lender in those other states as well. So if you, or if you're in Florida, you're looking to move to another state, then you also have Mr. Farmer to be able to help as well. So now let's just go back to the loans. Just very briefly, just cover all the different types of loans and anything else that you want to add to.
As I was saying before, one of my most used products is right now with the price of homes is the 203K, the renovation loan, where you can buy the house, 3.5% down, get pretty much as you want, up to $400,000. That's the maximum loan amount, $476,000 to renovate the home. And as I tell a lot of the clients, go out and find the worst house on the best block that needs the most work, and get that house up to snuff, and it will market just like one of the top houses on the block. I did a program with a gentleman a couple of years ago, me and Travis and I. He purchased the house for $90,000. He put $80,000 into it, so he had a loan amount of $170,000. The house is now worth $345,000.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He purchased that on the with an FHA 203K, but he literally only spent $80,000 in renovations, and he gained a lot of appreciation on that particular property, because he was on one of the nicer blocks, but the house was in ill repair and it needed work. Put the work in, and when they go out and appraise it, it'll come out just like one of the top houses, on the block. They were all about the same size anyway, but it just needed some updating.
Right. Yeah.
Now, one of my other renovation programs is called Choice Renovation, and Choice will allow you to build a additional dwelling on the property, so you could build like another little house or an apartment on the property, along with possibly financing a swimming pool. And this is one of the only programs out there that allows that. And I think once the rates come down a little bit, I'll get a lot more requests for that particular product.
So it sounds like you have quite a few different specialty programs that you're specializing in. I really love the one that is here locally in Fort Myers that are serving the underserved areas. Question for you, because come July 1st, you have the Hometown Hero release of the funds.
Right.
So with that Hometown Hero, that's what I was talking about in terms of what's happening July 1st. So the Hometown Hero program, is that something that can be layered as well?
Yeah, that's a down payment assistance. So, I mean, any of these products that I mentioned will allow you to you can get a down payment assistance from a government organization, or a grant rather. Yeah.
Right.
It's a soft second, and it doesn't have to be paid back. So it'll just piggyback off the first mortgage. Correct.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure that the audience understands that there's other programs that they can be able to layer, but not all programs would allow you to layer different things. And once again, I'm not a lender, but it's just from my experience. So, so you share with us a lot so far, several different programs. Other than those other 3 programs, just other people what else you, as far as what other types of loans you cover?
Well, we cover FHA, veterans, the VA loan. I'm a certified VA specialist as well. You know, where they don't have to put down any money. And basic conventional loans. Now, another program that, before I forget, is for your investors that don't want to verify their income or employment because they may write off everything. Usually with 20% down, they can acquire an investment property under business services loan, which we call our DSCR loans, where we don't verify no income and no employment. And the house qualifies as long as the rent is more or equal to or more than the first mortgage, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. That's pretty popular right now, and I'm moving quite a few of those loans.
Good. Okay. So
Only for investment properties, it's not for unoccupied.
right. So we are coming to our last couple of minutes. So we want to keep you too much longer. I know you have realtors to call and buyers to service as well. So in a nutshell, when I say, show me the money, Robert, the program, just give a 30-second highlight of that program in the Fort Myers area for the residents.
Most money would be in the Purchase Plus program, where they would get back to $5,250 from the lender. That's probably going to be their biggest savings. And also, if there's appraisal required, Rocket Mortgage will pay for that appraisal.
Okay, so you said how much money? You said $5,000?
$5,250.
$5,250. That's $5,258 of saving plus the appraisal as well. So let's just say about $6,000 then.
Pretty much.
Yeah, in savings. Now you can't tell me that's not showing you the money as well, guys. So I want everyone, if you are a realtor, a realtist, even a buyer, reach out to Robert. His information is in the description, followed with, you're going to see it also as well on our social media, all his information, his website. So hit him up there as well. And if you want to learn more about NAREB, what we have to offer, why do we exist, and want to be part of this community, we'll love to be able to have you. Give me a call. Once again, my name is Q Raphael, president for the Southwest Florida Association. Show me the money Mondays. And Robert, is there any last words that you would like to be to say?
Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Robert. I appreciate you and the services that you are doing for our community. And then plus, even so, showing us the money for those who live in Lee County in the Fort Myers area. All right. So you heard it. You didn't hear it from me. You heard it from him. The other way. You heard it from him. All right, guys. I will see you next Monday for Show Me the Money Mondays. You guys take care and bye-bye for now.
Have a great day, everybody.
All right. Bye-bye.